Hello to my loyal followers, Charlie Black 20 back again. I am doing a movie comparison. Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria of a Starless Night, English subbed versus the English dub. As you know from my last video, I went and saw Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria of a Starless Night on December 4th. I'm sorry. No, it was the 3rd. My bad. And I saw it subbed in American theaters for the first time, and it came out dubbed tonight at 7. Saw it the exact same theater, basically the same seat, and I wanted to let you guys know what I thought about the sub versus the dub. Now, I'm going to be upfront with this. When I originally watched the anime of Sword Art Online, the series, I watched it in English dub. And fun fact, I actually started it at the wrong episode. I started watching it on Netflix, but I watched it where it was left off from my brother-in-law. He had been watching it before me. I decided to take a look, and I started on episode 9 instead of episode 1. So I missed a lot from the beginning, but I caught up pretty quick. But I remember seeing it in dub first. So that's what I'm the most familiar with. I saw the first season all in dub first. I didn't bother with the sub for a long time because that wasn't my thought. I never thought that sub would be better than dub. But obviously I watched other things that were subbed before they were dubbed or were not dubbed at the same time. So depending on which I see first, I usually prefer that one. But I think that in this case, Sword Art Online in English dub for me is better. Now, going into the movie, I obviously knew more of what to expect. So I was watching it with a more critical eye, I'm going to say. But because it was in dub, I was able to see, hear, observe things that I did not observe in the original one, in the sub version. And it still did a very good job of portraying the characters. In my opinion, for me, being familiar with the dub, I think the dub does better for me in terms of seeing the characters interact and their social dynamics and their questions and their feelings are more emotive to me. Now, the original voice actors for Kirito and Asuna are both back. We have Bryce Papenbrook as Kirito, and we have Jeremy Lee as Asuna. And I really noticed in this movie how Jeremy her voice is very different in every scene for Asuna. Like, there's moments where she's very, very quiet, like especially with her mother. And then there's moments with Mito where Asuna is very carefree and her voice goes up. And then there's moments where she's taking command of a situation, where she is just like, her voice becomes much more authoritative. And you see how socially awkward Kirito is even more with how Bryce portrays Kirito's voice. So I give them very good props for that. I think Mito, I believe she was played by, sorry, gotta double check. Mito was played by, where is it? Anairis Quinones. Forgive me. I will put that in the description so I don't mess up I don't mess it up beforehand again. But basically, I think that the dialogue was basically the same. There were a handful of lines here and there that were a little bit different, but they still had the same context. And I think it flowed beautifully. Like, there was almost never a missed flap in the mouth, almost never a missed syllable. Like, every moment that there was dialogue, I felt like they didn't miss a beat. save once. But that was because I was really watching for it, and it's a moment with Mito's character in the after they've defeated the floor boss. It's not that big a deal. It's only like a few seconds at most, but otherwise, it's a really, really good moment. Or I'm sorry. Otherwise, from that, everything else in the dialogue was really good, and I am very much looking forward to seeing it. And I think that in the dub, for me, what Asuna is pursuing at the very end, what she is striving for, is made a lot clearer to the audience when it's in dub than it was in sub. In sub, it's a lot more nuanced, a lot more subtle. In the dub, it's a little plainer, it's a little easier to see. Not that it's perfect, but that you can understand where she's coming from more. And again, Asuna's character development in the dub is just as interesting as it is in the original. Although I think it comes across a little easier in the dub. Now again, I admit I'm a little biased because I saw it in dub first, the original anime, and I've always preferred the dub as a anime watcher in Sword Art Online case. Now, like with Attack on Titan, I prefer sub because I saw it that way first, and I think it's a little more guttural, a little more in line with how they're trying to portray the world. Whereas in Sword Art, I felt like the English dub does a better job. Although there are better lines in the sub when you're just reading it or listening to it as a native speaker. But I still think it was great. I am definitely looking forward to seeing the next one. I was so happy when I realized that in 2022, even if it comes out next winter, it's still less than a year away. So that's, and I know what floor it is now. And I know which book it is too. I've read it, and of the progressive volumes, except for the very first one, even maybe, I would say out of all of them that have been written, that one is still my, the most interesting as far as social, political, and game-wise mechanics. There's the second part of Volume 1 is really interesting because it focuses mainly on game mechanics. But you get that, you get game mechanics, you get social dynamics, you get political dynamics, and you get Kirito and Asuna's partnership at that time really showing through. And we get a lot of Argo the Rat, as I said before, and we get a bunch of other characters who at this point are still, they're not main characters, they're not really recurring characters either, but they are important for the game itself. So I really look forward to seeing that next movie. I give this one, again, I gave the original subbed, I gave it a B+. I'm going to give the dubbed for myself an A-, simply because I prefer the dub. But otherwise, I give it, again, a solid B+. A- for me, B+ for anybody else who simply prefers subbed. And I think they're going to do a good job with the next movie. And I cannot wait. I just cannot wait. So, thank you guys for listening. I know this one was pretty short, but I hope you'll tune in next time for another video with me. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping to get my books back, but again, it's going to take me some time to get them. They're a fair distance away. So, I'll catch you guys later. Charlie Black, out.